and one, Digging Prez on deck.
Yeah.
So you guys have a project coming out with Green Lantern. How did you guys hook up with Green Lantern?
Well, we hooked up with Green through seeing him just from time to time in shows in New York City, which where we were based, and then we would, you know, he's a radio DJ and he also is a show DJ, performance DJ for a few different people, like Nas and David Marley sometimes, and so we would see him doing shows, and then we would vibe out, and we knew of his reputation of being somebody who had a good ear for music and good mixtape music, and the relationship just increased from there. We started exchanging ideas, and the project actually has already come. It was released. Post of the People was the name of it, and their Prez and Green Lantern collaboration. They're actually doing the majority of the music besides and
check it out, Prez.com.
So what's in the next sort of planning stages? I mean, I've heard talk about more Green Lantern and Prez albums and a possible tour together, but what do you guys have coming up?
Well, we're working on the next volume, Turn Off the Radio Volume 4 with DJ Drama.
Oh, word.
Out of Gangsta Grills and ATA. So, and then our album Information Age is dropping this August 2010. So we're getting touring. You know, I'm working on a book with my wife called Revolutionary Love. And that would be my third book. You know, so we just going hard in the paint, man.
How do you like the presentation of a mixtape album opposed to sort of classic, release album?
Well, it's all creativity at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So, some level of creativity you draw from different places. It's good just to be able to express yourself, ultimately. But sometimes a mixtape is sometimes branded that way just so it can stay under the radar from certain other entities that will want to make money off of it. And sometimes it's branded a certain way so it can be intended for a certain sector of the community, like the hood or people who will listen to who want to have the idea that this might not be what you would get on the album. Nonetheless, it is songs that we are creating to go in the chamber of their music and stick at them.
Yeah, for me it's sparring. You know what I mean? The mixtape is sparring. You know what I mean? The album is the fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just that.
I know martial arts is big for you guys, so I like the analogy.
Yeah, it's like, it's like hip hop was born in a mixtape freestyle form. You know what I mean? We could take over anything. We ain't got to worry about no sample clearance and all that kind of shit. It's just go hard. You know what I mean? And sharpen. You pick hot shit, you pick old shit, classic shit, whatever, and you breathe and get that inspiration from it. That's what the mixtape is about. Skill, raw exhibition of skill. The album a lot of times is where you get to reflect more. And, you know what I mean? The concept, gets to grow and develop. And, you have more guests, more, just more support. You know what I mean? It's more of a refined.
It's more expansive.
Yeah, more refined. But for us, it's kind of like we blur the lines between. We approach a mixtape like an album in terms of the quality we want to put into it, and we try to approach our album with the same rawness as a mixtape.
Well, I've definitely had the pleasure of seeing you guys perform live. I think this is probably my 6th time. And it seems like this show, more than the others, were more of a mixtape style show. You threw in some Black Rob, you threw in some Biggie, some Al Green at the end. So what are you hoping people are going to take away from your show? If there's one thing that you hope audience members take away from the Dead Prez show, what would it be?
Just hope that they would just be able to connect with understanding what we're trying to communicate. I don't expect everybody to be on board or unite, but I definitely want people to take away the ability to connect with the show, that we spoke to them in a way that they can see sincerity with what movement we were coming from. some people are fans who came to get the updates or comrades that we organize with. So it's always good to break bread with them. It's a feeling of family. So it is the connection.
And I agree. And also for me, it's I always want to give that clear sound. You know what I mean? As good as quality that we can give in terms of the sound and just the energy. We always do a libation before we perform, and people energy and our energy just bounce back and forth. So the crowd is gonna get what they collectively have. A lot of people don't realize that that's what makes the show. It's the energy of the people. You know what I'm saying? If we come out to the crowd and they're like, that's how we gonna be. You know what I mean? So when you see a good energy in the show, that means that there's a chord being struck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Real. So I always look to do that. Best quality, keep my voice from going out, you know what I mean? And just come from the heart.
Well, it seems like with a lot of the music that you create and the show, one of your main messages is sort of non-traditional education, self-teaching. What do you think is the first step for people in self-education and self-teaching?
That's a very good question, man. In fact, that's the theme of our new album, Information Age, is self-teaching. You know what I mean? Non-tradition, not following tradition just for tradition's sake. You know what I mean? But realizing that culture doesn't create people. People create culture. You know what I'm saying? And that they feed back and forth, of course. But ultimately, we have a will, that we can direct, that can give us feedback from our environment. We can make new paths. You know what I mean? We don't have to just follow the same old. That's pretty much how you end up where we at today. So self-teaching is on every level of life, in every sphere, and it's infinite. You know what I mean? Health is a good way to understand.
I know you guys are both vegan now, both of you now.
Indeed. Health, the martial arts, revolutionary political education, you know what I mean? Alternative viewpoints of history, how and why things unfold the way they unfold from different perspectives, you know what I mean? Critical analysis, you know what I mean? Studying the revolutionary movements, the ups and downs, political economies. You know what I mean? All these things are about self-education. And one important thing, entrepreneurship is an education. You know what I mean? It's a hands-on job training to be self-sustaining. So, just rejecting, the traditional isms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finding your own life. Being your own life.
When you talk about truth and education, what do you think is one lesson that you wish all people knew? One thing that you wish that all dead Prez fans, like this dude right here, excuse me, walking in, yo, like this guy right here. What is one thing that you wish all people knew? As one universal truth, one thing that you could teach people, like this dude, he's trying to give you some weed. You might want to grab that. He just dropped it and took off. Well, the weed will just stay on the ground. That's cool.
Know yourself.
Know yourself.
Yeah, know yourself. And I think you see the similarities in humanity instead of distance.
Cool.
That's what it do. Know yourself. That's ancient. That's from Kemet. You know what I mean? Know yourself, man. Levels of the self. You know what I mean? Levels of being. You know what I mean? Knowledge is in the supreme mathematics. Knowledge is the foundation, right? But the application of knowledge is wisdom, and through applying knowledge, you understand.
Doing the promotion.
It keeps on going.
Checking that everybody, make sure.
That's what it is.
Just making sure everybody's got the
learning, being open to knowledge, and then applying it.
Yeah.
Or as we learn in the Uhuru movement, theory, practice, theory. You have a theory, go practice it, and you find the theory. practice that, keep on. So, you know, just being open and free, you know, that's what it do.
And much appreciation, M1 Stickman. Thank you for your time. Much appreciation. Hope Portland shows you the love you showed it.
Already.
Thank you very much.
And when you see the police, flip.
And watch out for the weed on the ground that you just stepped on.